Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be preparing the canvas for The Good Witch. I've already done a little bit of it off camera just because this is such a large canvas. I don't know that I'm going to get all of it done on camera, but I'm at least going to give it a start so you can see what I'm doing. I've already gone through and placed washi tape around all of the edges where the glue is so that I can keep that nice and straight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my release papers that I have and I'm going to start working my way down from the top to the bottom and start placing all of my cover sheets to cover up the canvas. So I'm gonna pull this back towards me a little bit, and this means that I'm gonna have part of it kind of rolled up and sitting in my lap while I do this. So hopefully you can see most of what I'm doing. All of her does not fit on camera, so I don't have enough zoom or enough space to zoom completely out, but I want to show you what I'm doing at least to start, and then I will finish preparing the canvas, and then I will cut back at the end and show you the whole thing completed. So all I'm going to do now that I've got the washi tape around all of the edges is I'm going to take my release papers and I'm going to place them along the canvas. Now some people kind of do this really precisely. I'm not going to do it that way because I intend to work on pieces of this canvas at a time. By section, I'm going to number these, I think, and then I'm just going to use an app to kind of pick a random number, and then I'll work on that numbered section. I think I'm going to end up with about 36 different sections if I figured out my calculations correctly. Maybe a little bit more because I may do some overlapping, but we'll see. But I don't want to make them exactly on a line always, because then when the painting is finished you'll be able to still see those lines, and I don't want that. So I may finish like in the middle of a line just to give myself a room to kind of straighten things up as I go. But I do definitely want to, in the corner here, make sure that I'm covering up the washi tape as well as the canvas itself, and then press down on the cover sheet to make sure that it sticks. And you can see it's kind of in the middle here on a line. That's okay with me. Again, I'm just going to overlap the cover sheet a little bit, and then I'm going to place it down kind of as straight as I can. It doesn't appear to be very straight, so I am also kind of trying to pay attention to this line down here. Okay, that looks a little bit straighter. Okay, and then I'm just going to continue this process down the whole canvas so that I can get the whole canvas covered, and I can get rid of this plastic cover sheet because I don't like these things. I don't like that they're see-through. I don't like that they crinkle and make noise. And I think I have enough cover sheets to do the whole canvas. If I end up not having enough cover sheets to do the whole canvas, then I may rethink how I do it. But for right now, as I'm going, and you can see there's quite a bit of overlap here with these, and that's okay. That's fine. So then I'll move this up a little bit more so I can pull the cover sheet down and place the next row of cover sheets. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to overlap the washi tape as well as overlap the previous cover sheet so that there's a little bit of overlap. And then I can just lay it down. And again, I'm not going to be overly concerned about whether it's a little higgledy-piggledy or exactly on a line down here, because it's okay if it's not. There's some dirt on that one. it's okay if it's not. I'm fine with it not being perfectly straight. If it bothers you, then by all means do whatever you find most comfortable. But for purposes of this, the way I'm doing this is perfectly fine for me. So again, I want to make sure that I'm overlapping enough with the washi tape, just in case I didn't get the washi tape completely over the tape, because with my washi tape, I want to get it close enough that I'm not laying my hand in that excess glue, but I also want to leave myself enough room that I can tell if I'm at the edge of the canvas. I don't want that washi tape to go over the edge of the canvas. I'd rather have a little bit of a gap than none, and that way I can make sure my diamonds are straight on the edges, because if they're straight on the edges, then odds are they will be straight everywhere else. So I'm just going to continue this process of laying these sheets across here and covering her up. And again, you can see here my overlap. This is not laid exactly straight. Let me straighten that up just a little bit. But there's not very much overlap here as compared to this one up here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's okay. It all works for me. As long as the whole canvas is covered and I have a little bit of overlap so that I'm not letting dirt and other things get into my glue and mess with the canvas, then it's all good. See, and there's not enough overlap there. So I'm going to move this one up a little bit because I do want overlap. Okay. And I'm going to move this one up just a little bit as well. Pull that one back. Make sure I have a little bit of overlap going there. And you can see that down here, they're not exactly aligned across, and that's okay. I'll finagle it as I go and make it work a little bit better. However, this is getting a little too unwieldy, so I am going to finish covering up the rest of the canvas, and then I will be back to show you what else I'm going to do. Okay, so as you can see, I have the entire painting covered now with my release papers. When I got to the bottom edge, there was a little bit more than the papers would fit sideways like I'd been doing them, so I opted to go vertical rather than horizontal with them. So I may have a little bit more papers than I counted on, but I'd rather do it that way and have it covering a bigger section so that I'm not working on this little itty bitty tiny strip in some places. And you can see I still have plenty of release papers left. There's 50 in this package, so that means there's got to be less than 50 on here. I'm guessing like 36, 38, somewhere in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to number all of these, and I'm going to hope it works, because the way I'm going to number them is with a sticker. So I'm going to hope my sticker sticks to these release papers while I'm working on them, so I know which section is what number, and then I'm going to randomly let an app or a random number picker tell me which section to work on first. So rather than me going through and picking this bottom corner and starting and working across like I normally do and working my way back and forth to the top, I could end up with a number that makes me start here in the middle. I could end up with a number that starts here. I could end up with a number that starts way up at the beginning, and I'll be jumping all around, and that's okay. I think that'll add a little bit of fun to it. So I'm going to take another break. I'm going to go label all of these with my stickers, and then I will come back and show you what the completed canvas looks like. Okay, I'm not sure how well you can see this canvas, but at least enough of it to understand what I'm meaning. So I have taken stickers and I have labeled each section with a number. And what I will do is take and app that I have on my phone that will let me basically spin a wheel, and it will pick a number at random, and whatever number it lands on, that will be the section. Whenever I peel the paper up, that'll be the section that I work on first. I think this is going to help me with a couple of things for this particular canvas. One, it will kind of break up all of that 310, so I may get some sections where it's very 310 heavy, but then that should be offset by getting some sections where I don't have very much 310 at all. So that will make it nice. And also just being able to kind of move around and do what I want. This might have been easier in a smaller canvas, but I always wanted to try it. This is small enough, even though it is 22 inches by 31 inches, it is small enough that I can place it vertically on my tabletop easel and work on it. So I'm not too worried. It can either drape over the top of the easel or it can roll over the bottom and kind of fall in my lap as I'm working on different sections. And if I find it that it's too annoying as I'm working, I can always abandon this option and do it on a different one, or I can change up how I'm doing it. We'll see. But for now, this is the plan. So this is the Good Witch all kitted up and ready to go. And hopefully I'll have some check-ins or some whip-in chats on how this is progressing. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, thanks for watching.